This computer. There we are. All right. Okay. All right, everyone. I don't know what we're talking about, so we'll find out in a minute. And okay. The spiritual path of man has always been one of a journey home to the realization and understanding that man is just part of a great whole, a universality, a oneness, if you like, a creator. Along this journey, man can get lost in many different rabbit holes. Lost on the path, and then finds it difficult to stay on the path. And such is the case with man's vocations, as they look at life being an expression of that vocation. And in particular, I refer to mediumship. But it may not just be that, it may be all other vocations. And of course, the choice to not be involved in any type of work as well. And you see, as man then thinks the vocation is the path, again, he gets lost within his identity of whatever that career is. He considers himself to be accountant or taxi driver or many other professions. But the truth is those professions, those works, those careers, those jobs are just on the way. They are not the way. And this, of course, means that the truth path then appears to be hidden. And within man, the torch burns, a calling for something else, a calling for something of meaning. Each path never truly satisfies until the foundation is reached, and then whatever vocation or profession comes out of that, rather than the vocation seen as the way. And this is why it appears that mankind has two paths: the path of job and the path of spirituality. And all of this, in essence, is determined by different qualities of consciousness. Whatever your foundational beliefs are. So let me explain that further. If you believe that God, if you wish, the Creator, is an entity that is external to you, then you may follow certain religions. And you may find a statue, an idol, or even a church or temple to go worship in, to pay your respects to that Creator. But after a time, the belief forms that the God may be within you. And then mankind may turn away from churches and religions and chase an internal God. They seek solitude, they seek meditation. They seek a path away from their vocation. They see obstacles to their internal belief as they delve in forever inner, going deeper and deeper within themselves, trying to find that magic spot. But there is a third. And a third level of consciousness is God or Creator is everywhere. It is within the man, it is outside of the man. It is in the trees, the grass, the sand, the water, the mountains. And according to your vocation, now it will be seen as an expression of that Creator, an expression of yourself. So your career then becomes fully enriched with the joys and love and the care and kindness for others. So mankind may shift for some fundamental beliefs into a realization of unity or totality. If your level of consciousness is the first one, then of course you will have times of prayer and times of attending particular services or ceremony. But if you believe you are the last one, then every moment of life is the ceremony. And then from that you could choose to be a medium if you wish, or that accountant I spoke about before. And the quality of your expression changes immensely. So how do you evolve through these expressions? How do you evolve your awareness, your consciousness, or your understanding? Well, the first step, and the step we have negated in this discussion so far, is to first of all understand that there is a spiritual path. And those on that spiritual path will then evolve through the three qualities that I have mentioned. So the biggest step is to turn your head towards the light. The vast majority of the human race has not done this yet. So by understanding that there is a light, or there is some creator, or a wish to explore, to find out if there is a creator, at least stands you away from many others. So your first step is to turn your head towards the light. And then the exploration begins. It always will seem in the early days that someone else has found their God, but not you. Someone else has found their spirit, but not you. It appears so elusive, always out there somewhere, I think, but never, or not available for myself. So now the majority of people give up. They turn their head towards their light and may make 1 or 2 or 3 steps in the direction of it. But then decide, I am not worthy or I am not ready. Or the temptations of life get in the way, and the need to chase the pleasures of the body again become the direction. So here courage, determination, the desire to keep walking forward even though it is the most difficult thing to do, is the most vital. There will be nobody on the path that does not have the temptation to stop. The temptation to go back into the physical world, if you call it that. So mankind then starts to chase knowledge, starts to try to understand, to rationalize, to make everything logical, and seeks to find a logical path and logical answers that will keep them on the path. If you have not attempted or been tempted to give up already, then you are not walking the path. You are just looking at it. As this path is a path that you all must walk, the giving in at this stage will make your life or future lives far harder, because you'll get to the start of that path again and think it is not for you, but you have just not got far enough into it. And in future lives you may be less tempted to undertake that path that you must take. So with this level of consciousness, it is the acquisition of knowledge. But once you get a certain way in, then the ability to turn back gets taken away from you. Rather like the habit has been formed. And the destination is then part of your life. You feel the beauty of expression. As Spirit starts to work with you then, to walk along your path with you, to support you, to even direct you, to help you, encourage. You'll be given opportunities. You will also have hurdles. And here your determination is initially tested. Are you definite? And once you step over that threshold, the support is then given towards you. So now we have an explanation of how God helps those who help themselves. You must begin. You must cross the threshold, and then the help eventually comes. Yet it was always there, and you are now just ready to listen. So knowledge now becomes a hindrance, and mankind seeks a true knowledge, seeks the truth rather than opinion. It seeks connection rather than information. It gains guidance, maybe from certain books or literature, but also from certain people. And now on your path, fuel is added to your journey. The desires or the potential to give in is lessened almost to non-existent. Now coincidences seem to fall into place. The pathway has been swept. The direction seems still clouded, but there is something calling you forward. A desire that you cannot let go of. And you begin to walk forward. You may at this stage bring certain of your skills that you learned when you are attached to the physical body to help you. You start to attract others, initially teachers and then students. Yet there is still no satisfaction. But you drive ever onwards and you start to see what was once separate from you as potentially to be within your grasp. And your understanding, your attention is forever inwards, knowing that everything that you want is somewhere in there. You may seek more and more solitude, a desire to be left alone at times is not unusual. The connection to nature and the wonders of nature starts to pick up. And you don't just see the beauty, you feel like you are part of that beauty. Then you may attach to a cause and want to save the whales, the forest, the fish. You may want to heal or to support others. So even now, as I describe the path, even before there is an understanding of light, there is a mankind which serves itself, looks for its self-satisfactions. And eventually this changes to where we are describing now, the satisfactions of helping others. Seeing the beauty around and seeing it all as an expression of love and kindness. somewhere on this path, there are glimpses which get given to man of what is beyond. And it is possible now that man can find unconditional love. It gets a glimpse of it, and its first instinct is to hold it, try to retain that love, and as soon as they do, it disappears. They still see that there is a them and there is a love, or a them and peace, which is something to be attained still. Yet this is the mistake. You seek to attain peace, love, and spirit. You seek to connect to spirit. Yet you negate the very essence of you are that love. You are the peace that runs through all of nature. You are spirit. As soon as this step is taken, and not just understood but experienced, then you begin the path of the third. And you start to see that the Creator is everywhere, that love is everywhere, that consciousness, that truth is within both the desert and the rainforest. It is the trying to hold on, to define, that now becomes the obstacle. It is that final letting go. And when you do, you fall into the totality. Let me explain it slightly different. First, there is a desire to understand that there is a light or a driving factor. Then mankind has to battle through fear. Then mankind has to battle through control. I wish to control and defy. Within that control is attachment. Trying to hold on to everything. Trying to hold on to the way things should be, rather than accepting the way things are. Within your life, do you have fear, control, or attachment? Are you scared to find yourself as spirit? Do you wish to express that spirit in a very controlled way? Or can you let spirit express themselves? So if we looked at this from mediumship, there is the fear that you cannot attain it. Then there is the desire for it to conform to certain ways. And all you have to do is to let it express itself. Rather than define, let go. Rather than expect, accept. Rather than fear, love. Your spiritual path will be defined by, well, let's say just these three qualities, but there are others, many others. You doubt that you can do the work, but you must keep going. If you do not, you'll make it harder for yourself tomorrow and the next day. And when you find this, or let us call it level 3, you'll see spirit in the leaf, in the ant, and in the grain of sand. And you will feel the love that exists within it all. And all you have to do is to surrender to it. And that is why that phrase was given to you some months ago. Let spirit do the work. So now at level 3, you look at others and see that they are lost within their path or yet to find their path. You see that they are still coming to terms with the true nature that is there, the spirit that is within each and every person. Your choice is to see the spirit or to see the struggle. So you recognize the spirit and alleviate the struggle. And once you do this, then you guide others on their path. And even those which cause the most harm and damage to the world, those which are cruel, unkind, selfish, they are still spirit. And you can love the cruel as easy as you can love the kind. Because you do not see the falsehood covering the truth. You see the beauty before you see the destruction. And this is why people use the phrase, everything is perfect just the way it is. Of course, few understand that phrase. Few understand the truth that they sit upon. They are rather like a beggar that sits on a chest of gold yet does not know it's there, and asks for a coin to alleviate his hunger. Yet he sits on a chest of gold that will make him hungry no more. And the same is of you. You too sit on that chest of gold. At least you know that the chest is there. And you should then decide what to do with it. So if you find yourself before finding your profession, or find yourself now and use that discovery within your profession, then what you do, how you do it changes. And those which are the most cruel and unkind can be touched by love. And that can be enough to change them onto the path of understanding. There is an old story of a monk walking along a jungle path. And along this path, he finds a snake, a very poisonous, dangerous snake. But this snake is attached or connected to a bar of gold. And will not leave that gold. Of course, the snake then begins to suffer hunger and thirst. And by sheer cunning, the monk distracts the snake, takes the gold, and throws the gold into the water. And says to the snake, "You are unattached anymore. Go and be a snake." And the snake then goes its way, unhindered by its past beliefs, its past karma, and begins the path turning towards the light. Now, so I say to you all, there are some major obstacles that you need to first move past. The first is turning your head towards the light. The second, to realize that in your early days, the temptations to turn backwards are normal. but they get less and less. But it's only once you are affirmed on your path that everything is then given to you. Even at this stage, we are at a mere small fraction of the human race. Get to this part. The desire for knowledge then takes place with is taken over by the desire for understanding. Expect that nothing out there will satisfy you any longer. Keep letting go and don't control. You will notice your control now as in trying to make this conform. And surrender to the true nature of spirit or love or joy or consciousness according to what you find. And see it everywhere. You are then liberated. And that bar of gold holds you no longer. So you should see life. You should pause. You should come back to your true nature. And you should express that true nature into the world. And not connect to anything that is transient. So the simple act of pausing, meditating, stopping, will give you the choice of your path. Walk it as you will. It begins as a lonely journey and ends as a realization that you were where you started is where you will finish. Just your viewpoint has changed. Now, be true, my friends. And let the peace of all creation exist within you. Until we meet again. God bless you all.